Yo, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to make banger reels and TikToks, whether it's for products or you just went on a cool shoot and want to make a banger video. So let's go. First things first is the shot list. For me, I'm more of a run and gun style shooter, so I don't really make a lot of shot lists because I already know in my head what I need to get for specific like content, like reels or TikToks or whatever for products. For bigger projects, I will use a shot list because if you're shooting all day, you're gonna miss something, and it helps with the editing process also because you shot in order, and when you get back to edit, it's in order of how you shot, and it tells a much better story than if you were just to run and gun a huge project. Next up is the spot check. I would say this is the most important one because if you're with a client or whatever you're doing, if you show up early, you look like you know what you're doing more because you have the shots lined up, you have the angles, you know where to go during golden hour or specific lighting situations. For this shoot I went on, it was last minute, so I didn't have a shot list. I didn't know where this was. We got there early, I got to check it out, I got to line up all the stuff, the shots, the angles, and we didn't go too far. We stayed in a specific area, which also helps for like when golden hour hits, you are limited on time and you have to make sure you hit all your shots in that hour. Otherwise, you're screwed and have to come back. But so yeah, that's it on the spot check. Next up is shooting. When you're out there getting all your shots, make sure you are shooting in 120 frames per second, 60, maybe 240 frames if you have it, but definitely shoot in the higher frame rates. It gives you more room to edit. You can speed it up, you can slow it down, you can leave it as is. If you shoot in 24, 23, or 30, you are limiting yourself when you get back to your computer, unless that's the look you're going for. Or if you're shooting headshots, then that's when I would recommend using 24, 23, or 30 frames, whatever, because it's what the naked eye sees, and you don't really need to edit it too much. Make sure you guys are overshooting, just in case, because you get back to the computer, you might have missed something, or a shot might have been out of focus, out of frame, and now you don't have anything. So it's always better to shoot 2 to 3 times like the same shot, just in case. If you have it down, it doesn't really take much time at all depending on the shot. Also, you might get different sun flares or cool looking slow-mo shots, or you also might catch like random stuff in the frame, like birds or people or cars or whatever. But yeah, always overshoot. So that's it for the setup and the filming of these videos. Next up is the editing part. Now for editing these videos, you can use whatever you want. I use DaVinci Resolve for my color grading normally, and my cuts, and then I will use Premiere to edit, and then I will use After Effects for the special effects, and then it's done. It's a lot of jumping around, but trust me, it works and it looks the best. If you just use one of these programs, that's fine, but after color grading in DaVinci, I stick with that, and then Premiere I'm fluent in, so I edit fully in there. I'm still kind of editing a little bit more in DaVinci, but I'm still newer to the editing aspect in that program, but not color grading. I'm really good at color grading in there, but not editing. So I jump around, that's why. Anyways, back to the editing part. So first thing you want to do is drop all your clips into the project. You can either drag them all onto your timeline. I used to do that when I first started, and then I would go in and cut or shorten the clips all the way down until I was done with all the clips. But now I have them all in the bin or the project, and I double click and I'll basically select what I need from that clip and drag it onto the timeline. And while I'm doing that, I'm building out my story or how I want the edit to go while I'm dragging them out. I'll put them in like first, second, third, like beginning clips, middle clips, and then ender clips. And then throughout the process, they'll be eliminated or used in the edit. A quick tip is always edit in horizontal first. There's been many times where I have edited a reel in vertical and made all these effects and all this stuff, and then they wanted the video horizontal, and then I had to re-edit it basically because all my effects and everything was all messed up when I made it horizontal. So do it horizontal first, and then you can make your reel after you're done. Next up is music. Now, music, I would say, is the most important thing when it comes to editing. If you don't have a good song, your edit is not going to be as good. So definitely take the time, look on SoundCloud, look on Spotify, look on your Discover Weekly on Spotify, look on Epidemic Sound, look on Artlist, Motion Array, everywhere, because once you find the right song that fits the vibe of your story or whatever story you're trying to tell, make sure the song matches, because if it doesn't, your edit is not going to be as good. Once you find the right song, editing will be a million times easier. You're going to fly through it. Trust me. Take the time, find the right song. So when you find the song and when you edit to the song, you want to edit to the beat of the drum or the snare or the sound effects in between, like the bars, if that makes sense. So when you're done editing your video to your music, now is the time to add sound effects and your effects to your video before exporting it and making sure it is in the vertical format that everybody wants in Reels and TikTok. You can either stack them one on top of the other, or 3s or 4s, whatever, or you can stretch it or scale it to fit the whole frame. And that's it. That's how you make a banger reel. And this is my final edit, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.